A ceasefire, internationally supervised, will begin at 7 p.m. this Saturday, January 27, Washington time. Noon tomorrow, Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour.
Some South Vietnamese officers and government officials grew rich by selling stolen gasoline and other supplies. Pilots sometimes demanded bribes to evacuate wounded soldiers. The word went out. All Americans and Vietnamese at risk would be taken out by helicopter to U.S. aircraft carriers. Officials quickly designated departure points at the airport, the U.S. Embassy, and elsewhere in the capital. By late afternoon, most Americans and thousands of Vietnamese had reached the U.S. carriers offshore.
The city of Saigon was renamed today. The victorious communists who forced a North Vietnamese Viet Cong through the gate of the president's palace in Saigon. North Vietnamese hand luggage. And they took off for the carriers waiting in the South China Sea.
Man 2-2, you're coming through. Beautiful. Try clean your handset. Try again.
It was hand luggage. 50.
We are profoundly grateful to our Commander-in-Chief and to our nation for this day.
Man 2-2, how you read me now?
Tuesday, April 29th. The streets of Saigon, usually jammed with traffic at the morning rush hour, are quiet. The attack by communist aircraft at Saigon's Tan Son Nhut Airport the day before has prompted a 24-hour curfew. With communist forces only a few miles from the center of Saigon, the order to evacuate American nationals is given.
"24 hours ago, this was the busiest road in what was left of South Vietnam, choked with tens of thousands of refugees pouring down it towards the capital from Bin Hoa base, just 15 miles away. Now it's completely deserted. In the last few hours, the Communist Army has seized the other side of Bin Hoa Bridge and is on the very doorstep of Saigon."
For the frightened civilians, the first few hundred feet were the most dangerous. After that, they were out of range of rifle and pistol fire. The hardest part was the waiting. Many people said it was unnerving to be waiting for a ride to safety and to be hearing fighting all around you. There was always the fear that the fighting would end the helicopter. Those South Vietnamese not lucky enough to have been chosen for evacuation defied the curfew and stood outside the embassy gate, begging for a seat on the helicopters.
5 hours have passed and the bridge hasn't been retaken. It's presumed that the Communists, the North Vietnamese of Viet Cong, are dug in foxholes on the other side of the riverbank. And this is a very humiliating day for the South Vietnamese army. And we're hoping that this is the very last battle outside Saigon. Dawn on the last day. The last helicopter came in for a handful of US Marines. A humiliating end to the American presence. 10 minutes to 9 on the morning of the final American departure. The last Americans left the embassy complex about 25 minutes ago, and the fate of the embassy is very clear. It's now being systematically looted from floor to floor.
In all, approximately 7,000 people most of them Vietnamese, were airlift.
He's lucky he didn't fall over on top of him and chop him to pieces.
37631, said to be from the Polish intelligence agency. It is part of the numbers station family, E11, G11, M03, G10, S26, and M20. This intercept was made. Use a dialect based around Russian and Polish. The word Chekar means slash. The command means attention.
That was the second one. I helped push that one over too. Then the third plane came in. It landed also. We pushed it over the side. So meanwhile, we were throwing 3 helicopters in the water. So it's all true.